Hi there, it's Sherls here. Thank you for stopping by on my channel. Rachel from Roach and Bella Crafts had Get Your Chick On challenge making an ephemera holder. While making the challenge, I thought this pocket can be used to store my bazillion ephemera of the same kit or to store my ephemera of the kit I am currently working on. So I made a couple more with slight adjustment. A window in the back to easily see if any of the ephemera on the big pocket falls to the bottom. I also thought that this pocket can be used in a journal as a flap or glued in the journal page. In this video, I will show you how I made these pockets. I put Rachel's video in the description box for you to check how she did hers. To make this project, you need 4 sheets of digital paper. I am using August Rose Digital from A Trace of Sparkle, a cereal bag, and for the closure, you need a twine and some circles. What I have here are 1-inch circle digital that I have laying around, and I'm going to pack this with these cookie boxes, and you will also need 4 small circles punched in the cookie boxes as well. We will start with the closure first so it will have time to dry. So what I do here, I'm going to glue this digital on the cereal box and then cut another piece. I want it to be thick, that's why I'm using 2 snack boxes. And actually I want it outside to be like this, and then I will just let it dry before I cut the circle shape. And I also bag these 2 small circles so I have something thick as well to hold the twine. Once I'm done, I'm just going to put this aside so it will dry, and later I will come back and cut this circle. Next, we need to decide the layout of these digitals. We need 2 for these middle pockets and 2 sheets for this big pocket. I already decided that I want to use these beautiful 2 pieces for the middle pocket, so I'm going to put it aside for now, and this will be for my big pocket. I want this typewriter to show on the back here, so I'm going to put this like this. And for this one, so these 2 pieces we are going to trim 2 inches, and then we are going to fold it. So let me see if I want it to be showing the roses here, or if I want to trim this rose and then I will have this like leaves showing. No, I think I want the roses like this. So let's see. Yeah, I like it like this. To make it easier to work, to trim, I will put my glue stick lightly in the middle and stick these 2 sheets together. It's not really important at this stage to glue this properly, because this is just to help me with the next steps. So I already trimmed these 2 inches off. This is my scraps that I can keep in this ephemera holder. So if you don't want to cut these 2 inches of your paper, that's okay. And if you don't cut it, you will have something looking like this. So this one I use the full 11 inches length, and this one I trimmed the 2 inches. So it's up to you. Taking my scoring board, so this one is the one that will be on the bottom. I want to score it in 6.5 inches, and I will also use my pencils to mark in the 4.5 inches. So I know where the placement for the other pieces. And the preparation for this back pocket is done. I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to work with this middle pocket. Let's see. So I want the white side to face each other. And for this one, let's see. We are going to fold it like this. So what I want to do is, yeah, I think I like this one better, so I can see more of the ephemera that I'm going to put on the front. What if this colorful piece on the front, like so. This is upside down. I don't like it upside down, so I'm going to flip it, and like so. What if this one like this? So yeah, play around with your paper before you commit to the layout. No, I think I still want this like so. Yeah, I still like it like this. Yeah, like I said, play around with your paper to decide the layout that you like before you commit. And for these two sheets, you're welcome to glue it all the way to the edges, or if you want to, you can also just glue on the middle, because we are going to sew around it, so it will like stick together properly. Again, using scoring board, I'm going to, let's see, so this one will be like this. I want to score it at 6.5 inches. Again, so I will have something like this, and then I want to mark around, I don't know, maybe 4 inches, so I will have 2.5 inches pocket here. These two pieces are ready for the next step. And for the next step, you want to prepare your cereal bag. Make sure that your cereal bag is wider than your paper. And because this cereal bag is very thin, I like to double it up. And that's why I cut this cereal bag way longer than what I needed. I cut this 7 inches, is around, yeah, around 7 inches wide. And I'm going to fold it into half, like so. And the second piece is also cut in 7 inches width. And I'm going to fold it into half, like so as well. And next, we will want to take this one piece of cereal bag and glue it temporarily on the bottom of this big piece of pocket. It's temporarily because we are going to sew this to strengthen the bond. If you don't sew, then you can like use a strong adhesive just to make sure that it is properly glued. And also make sure that you glue everything if you don't sew. If you are using vellum, also cut your vellum wider than what you needed, because it's easier to trim off the excess than having to work with a crew paper or like smaller piece of paper. Just easier, like so. So I have temporarily glued this, and I'm going to use my paper clip as well to hold it in a piece. And next, I'm going to use my sewing machine to sew this to strengthen the bonding. And I'm going to sew this piece of cereal bag on this edge, so it will have a more sturdier feeling. I'm also going to sew these edges as well to add strength to the pocket opening. So I already finished sewing my pieces, and our next step is to put this in the position before we do the final stitches. So remember, we put a mark on this piece of big pocket. That's where we want to put the middle pocket. So I put it like there where the mark is, and I'm going to use my paper clip to hold it in place. This cereal bag will be on the bottom pocket. Again, I already have a mark here, and that's where my cereal bag will sit. It's like this. And for this one, I forgot to put another mark on the other side, so I'm just going to put the mark really quickly here, around 2.5, and that will be my placement for my cereal bag or this see-through pocket. And again, if you want to use vellum, you are welcome to do so. If you want to use glassine paper or some other see-through material, you're welcome to do so. I just have a lot of cereal bag laying around, and that's what I'm using. So here I have everything in position, And my next step will be to sew it. And I do not know why this paper clip got tangled. So I'm just going to get next paper clips and just do. And for the final stitches and final assembly, I'm going to stitch all around these edges. I finished sewing them together, and yeah, now they are like one piece. It's ready for big piece ephemera, medium size, and small ephemera. And now just going to trim off this excess plastic bag or Sherls bag. Again, if you are using volume or other see-through material, just trim it off on this step. It's easier to trim it off than working with smaller pieces or like precise size. Well, that's for me. If you can work with precise size, then feel free to cut your volume or plastic bag in the size that you want. And yep, trim this off. And that's the sound of my son. He's up already. Now my closure is also ready. The two small circle and the big circle with the backing of cereal box. And next, I'm going to glue the small circle on the back of the big circle, just around in the middle. I'm just going to eyeball this. And the other one is here. And this one here. So if you want to decorate this, you'll feel free to do so. I decorate this first ephemera holder that I made, and for the next two I didn't decorate it, and it still worked for me to hold the ephemera. And this one I'm going to glue it on this bottom side. And this one I'm going to prepare my twine. Going to put generous amount of glue here because I want to put my twine here and then stick it on my paper like so. And then just loop it around like a couple times and then cut it. So I haven't decided yet if I'm going to decorate this piece or not, but this is pretty much done, and that's very simple and easy to make. It's not dry yet, so I'll just put it like this. And here on the back side you have this see-through pocket, kind of see-through, not really see-through, but the purpose of this big, like this opening here, just to let me know if I have some smaller pieces fallen, then I don't have to like look around and see what is inside. So yeah, it's not dry yet. And I'm done. And here is my son. He's up already. My ephemera holder is completed. I already put my August Rose ephemera on this ephemera holder. The height of this ephemera is 8.5 inches, and that's why it doesn't really fit the bigger piece ephemera or even the scrap here. On the front pocket here, I put the small pieces of ephemera. I also printed the ephemera like very tiny, 16 pages in one sheet, and that's why I have this very tiny ephemera. And in the middle pocket, I put the bigger pieces of ephemera, like these journal cards or tickets and tags. And the bigger pocket holds the biggest pieces of ephemera, or the one that I haven't fussy cut. And on the back side here, I have this see-through plastic that let me see if I have any ephemera on the back pocket. I also put laces on the front flap here because my stitches is really ugly. I somehow have issue with my sewing machine, So I don't really mind about this part. I barely see it, and this is for my personal use, so it's totally fine for me. I also have some ephemera from the kit that I haven't fussy cut or even put in this holder, because I haven't decided what I'm going to do with these 3 pieces of ephemera. I might print the background paper on this side and use it for something, or yeah, I haven't really decided. I also have this digital paper that I printed for paper in one sheet, and again I haven't fussy cut because I have a plan that I have in mind and I'm not really sure yet what I'm going to do. For this next section, I'm going to show you how I made this ephemera holder as part of my journal page. And for this, you need 2 sheets of digital paper and your journal page. I'm going to speed up this process, so this tutorial is not going to be very long. Basically, the step is very similar with the ephemera holder, except that I'm using half the width of my paper. I cut a strip of lace on the length of my paper and I put it in between the paper. This lace will act as the flap to connect to my journal page, and it will later I will also make it into a pocket. My daughter came asking for help while I was working on this piece, so I was rushing it and I forgot to stitch these edges, and off camera I finished the closure. I also decorate my pocket because my sewing machine has some issue and the back stitches is really ugly. I put this small envelope and inside I put a tiny writing journal. And on the back side, just keep it plain because this is really light and really pretty. It can be used as a writing page. And on the back side, this is the side pocket made with the lace, which is also the holder for this pocket, and it can be used as a tuck spot. For this last example that I made, the principle is basically the same as the ephemera holder, except that I only used 2 sheets of digital paper, which I glued back to back, and then I cut it into half lengthwise. And then for one sheet, I scored it at 7 inches, and the second one, I scored it at 5 inches. And then I'm going to fold it just like the ephemera holder, and I sew around these 2 edges first, and then after I position it, I sew around these 4 edges, and then after I put the closure, this is what I have. These ephemera holders are really easy to make, fast to put together, and have many uses. You can even use this ephemera holder to put your ephemera to send as happy mail. If you have other ideas how these pockets can be used, please share them with me. Thank you for watching. Bye!